Oh boy, we're gonna have a swell time tonight.
It's time to kick ass and chew bubble gum. And I'm all out of gum.
Come quietly or there will be trouble.
Tiger uppercut!
Hello, welcome back to A Boring Revolution, your number one news source for everything in regards to The Boring Company. Hope you all well. What an incredible week it's been. We had the Tesla Investor Day. So many interesting nuggets of information in there, and it's really left me in a very, very positive mood in regards to my investment in that particular company. But there was something very key that I noticed during that presentation that got me very excited for The Boring Company as well. Not necessarily in the short, maybe medium term, but more in the long term. And that is a potential vehicle that The Boring Company could utilise in its system that would not only increase capacity and throughput, but also increase potential speed and efficiency. So, as you may be aware from previous videos that I have done, I'm a little bit obsessed with this RoboVan, this AEV, autonomous electric vehicle. And I think it's key to mass transit. I think it dramatically improves the efficiency of a system when you can have potentially 12, 14, maybe even 16 people in a vehicle. Potentially, I think it will be around 12 people, but theoretically it could be as high as 16. That increases efficiency greatly rather than having a 5-seater vehicle, and ultimately it's a massive cost saving for the Boring Company, and also improves the overall safety of the system as well. So let's talk about that vehicle. Let's talk about why I've come to this conclusion. It's based on a few assumptions, but hey, you know, a life is based on some assumptions. Try not to make them when you can, but we have to. So first of all, let's talk about Tesla Investor Day very, very briefly. There's probably at least 40 different videos you can watch on YouTube at the moment that go into detail explaining this particular event. For me personally, I was very, very impressed with every single team member that came up and talked. More specifically, the guys who kind of design and control the electronic systems within the vehicles. So the move to the 48-volt architecture, the kind of newly enhanced wire harnesses. In fact, they probably wouldn't even call them wire harnesses now, because they all use localized control systems. That's a massive cost saving and efficiency saving. The kind of developers with supercharging, and obviously new more kind of destination chargers. It looks like there's going to be many thousands of these destination chargers all over the country, all over the world, and that's going to be a potential business opportunity as well. Optimus as well, developments with Optimus, obviously autonomous as well. We got to see Ashok talk about that. I haven't got a clue about half the things he says, but the other half impressed me greatly. There's so many things talked about. Obviously the Gigafactory in Mexico as well, and just the supply chains as well, how they manage supply chains. There's so many good things going on at Tesla. The company is heading in the right direction at a very fast speed. People that get upset about the event, that nothing was really mentioned, they don't really understand the kind of chess game that Tesla are playing at the moment. It makes no sense whatsoever for Tesla to come out and say, here is the compact car, please wait 3 years, and in the meantime please buy the Model 3 and Model Y. It doesn't make any sense. Another thing that impressed me the most, in fact the most impressive part of the presentation, was the fact that they are now going to compartmentalize and sectionize the assembly of future vehicles, and that's going to result in a shorter production line, a more efficient production line, ultimately a faster production line, less errors, higher quality, a better product. I'm very impressed with what's going on at Tesla. They don't need to announce the compact car yet. They've got lots and lots of vehicles out there that are selling brilliantly. They're going to sell about 1.95 million vehicles this year. Come and remind me about that in December. It's going to be a very, very good year. Obviously, mega packs as well is a massive part of the business, and that's going to grow at least 60 to 80% this year, and everything's looking really, really good. But this is the slide that got me very excited. I immediately paused the TV and my mind was racing, and I thought, there it is. It's there. You can just see it underneath the cover. There it is. It is the RoboVan. Now, the RoboVan is a very important vehicle for the Boeing company because it's going to be built specifically for moving passengers and potentially other things as well. And it's going to have a very high capacity and fit for purpose, and also it's going to have a low production cost. It's going to cost less to produce than the Model Y, I believe, and it will potentially be a product that people can buy, and they will make hundreds of thousands of pounds from this product, running it in an Uber style system. It's interesting that they've put the potential market size at 300 million above the Cybertruck. So I believe the Cybertruck has a global kind of market of less than 100 million. So let's say that's 220 million potentially for this particular vehicle. I believe it's this vehicle. I strongly believe it'll be very, very similar in shape to this. Maybe not the exact design, but I'm confident that this vehicle will hold at least 12 passengers, potentially more, and it will be built on the Cybertruck platform. Hence why it's above the Cybertruck in this list, because it's going to use the same architecture, and it's going to use the 1000 volt drivetrain power system. Okay, so I'm very excited about that. I think this vehicle is still a long way in development. I very, very much doubt they've even constructed very basic prototypes of this, and I'm imagining that design work is quite basic, very, very, very simple. There's no real kind of hardcore designs on the table yet, but this vehicle is perfect for the Boeing company. It's also going to make perfect sense to be used as a cargo van. What you can't really see from this particular render is that this is quite a tall vehicle. It's going to be just under 8 foot tall, maybe even slightly above 8 foot tall, and that leaves lots and lots of use cases for this. Whether you're moving packages around, or maybe you are moving passengers, or maybe you're a builder and you've got construction equipment in the back there. There's lots of options here, and it'll have a big battery, so it'll have a big range because it can support that big battery because it's a big vehicle. Okay, so rather than hyping on about this particular vehicle, which I believe that we will see this vehicle go into production in less than 4 years. Let's say 3.5 years. It depends when they announce it. Obviously, there's a lot of vehicles ahead of it on the kind of design roadmap. We've not even seen the Roadster really even enter any kind of basic kind of roadmap for production. The compact car, again, same thing. So this is obviously third on the list after those two vehicles. So 3.5 years. But you can always speculate, and we can speculate because this is the most perfect vehicle that the Boeing company can have. Because without this vehicle, the Boeing company is going to be limited to around 30,000 passengers per hour in its system in Las Vegas. There's no way it's going to get above that, because running a loop system with Model S's and Model X's and Model Y's and potentially Model 3's, it's difficult. It's not it's not fit for purpose. There's actual physical doors you've got to open. If you want a vehicle to move large numbers of passengers around at high speeds, you need a vehicle that's not only large, but has also got the internal area to hold passengers and also automatic doors. It needs to be kind of like a train, but on rubber wheels. So, before I end this video, let's talk about what I think will be the actual market for this particular application. So there'll be two variants of this van essentially. So One will be a cargo van, so it'll operate a bit like a Mercedes Sprinter van. It'll have, if not the same, but more cargo capacity. Theoretically, this vehicle might not have a steering wheel as a van, but potentially it might. But if you imagine a van where you could just put equipment in, it could follow you to the work site, or maybe you have a site where you're doing construction work and you have some equipment you need to move there, you could put the equipment in the van and then just send it off on its own autonomously. That would be a good use case, and without a steering wheel, without the need for as many seats, potentially the internal loading area increases dramatically. And then there'll be a second variant. The second variant will be the one that the Boeing company uses, potentially a Tesla kind of rideshare system will use, and that'll be a minibus style van. Although I prefer to use the term RoboVan or AEV. But again, it'll have 12 seats, it'll have a high top speed, it'll be extra safe, it'll have doors that open up to, let's say 1.6 meters wide, so people will be able to get on into the vehicle as well as getting off the vehicle at the same time. It will have the perfect specifications to work. It'll be designed specifically for the Boeing company system and also for use on the surface as well. It'll look very similar to this, but maybe without the kind of the cream kind of base. It'll be based on the Cybertruck. So top speed, we're looking at around 120 miles an hour. It doesn't really need to go that fast, but I'm guessing that they'll kind of spec it up to that. Most of the time, it'll be operating in and around 90 to 100 miles per hour when in the loop system. That's more than enough. Battery, ultimately, especially the cargo variant of this particular vehicle, will need to haul a lot of equipment, a lot of heavy equipment. So I anticipate it'll be somewhere between 150 and 200 kilowatt hours. Maybe there'll be two different types that you can buy, maybe a 150 and a 200 in case you need to move more loads. I think that it'd be difficult to go below that, because ultimately if you've got 2 to 3 tons of equipment in the back, it's going to drop the range quite significantly, and if it's a cold day, again that results in another 15% loss. So you need to take that into account when you size up the battery. Cybertruck architecture, it will be based on exactly the same platform as the Cybertruck architecture. That includes the electronic system, the powertrain, the motors, FSD, everything will be basically the same. The only difference is they'll potentially stretch that out. They'll stretch it another 500 millimeters. The reason being, there might even be an extra multiple versions where one's 500 mil longer, and then another 1,000 mil for an even longer wheelbase, or 1,500 mil. So that's so that'd be at 1.5 meters. That would help sell this vehicle to the commercial sector for use in industry. Powertrain, 1,000 volts like the Cybertruck, and it'll be capable of 700 kilowatt charging. I think the Cybertruck will be capable of 1,000 kilowatts charging, but I don't think that the facilities will exist to do that, because I don't really see the need to charge at that kind of speed. I think that there will be some superchargers, maybe supercharger version 5, that will go up to around 700. It might even be less than that. I also suspect that this vehicle will have dual charging ports, so it will have the North American standard on one side, and then maybe the CCS on the other side, and that'll just help facilitate using the vehicle in various places. I also expect this vehicle to have access to power sockets for power tools, and certainly for the cargo variant, and it'll be a very capable vehicle. Okay, hope you liked the video. Hope that you're as excited as me about the RoboVan. It's definitely coming. It was there on the picture. What else could it be? If you have speculation in terms of what else it could be, then please tell me. Please like and subscribe and comment on the video if you can, please. consider following me on Twitter, Discord, and supporting me on Patreon. That'd be wonderful. As always, my Patreons continue to support me, and I do very much appreciate your support. It does very much help the running of this channel. And from the bottom of my heart, I really do appreciate all the support that you can give me. And hopefully more people will be joining fairly soon. Okay guys, hope you enjoyed the video. And remember, don't be boring. Don't listen to the FUD surrounding this Tesla Investor Day. It was phenomenal. I had to keep pausing it because I was trying to process all the information that was coming through, and it's just absolutely incredible. And remember, guys, take it easy. See you on the next one. Okay, goodbye.
You got to take big chances in order for the potential for a big positive outcome.
お前はもう死んでいる。何